And welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in on our pre-match build-up show. And joined by the absolute legend, my very good mate Ryan. As you can see, he's a massive Newcastle fan. But mate, thank you for taking the time out to come on.
Yeah, no problem. It's a pleasure. Anytime, really, I can do it.
Nice one, lad. If you've got any questions for Ryan about Newcastle and all that, leave them in the comment section below. And if you're new around here and you want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below and put your bell notification on as well. But Ryan, just before we get straight into talking about Liverpool and Newcastle, mate, what are your socials if people want to get over there?
One of my socials, I'll just use my fitness one for now. Ryan_fitness. No, Ryan_Dodds_fitness.
That's right. Everyone, go and head over there. He's an absolute legend. And if you're wondering about fitness and all that, Ryan just picked it up. He's learning everything about it. So I'll leave all his socials here on the page and that. It'd be an absolute legend if you go and head over and subscribe and say hello. But Ryan, thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's been a mixed bag for Newcastle this season, I think, hasn't it, mate? Since when I've been speaking to you, it should have been a nice celebration come the end of the season for Liverpool down there in Newcastle. But obviously, what's happened in the world anyway, you can't anticipate that. But it would have been a lovely party atmosphere down there at Newcastle. Liverpool and Geordies do have a very famous, good relationship, I think I'd say. Would you reckon?
Yeah, I'd say we've got a fantastic relationship. I remember once I was watching a Liverpool and Newcastle game, and it was when Jonas Gutierrez had cancer, and he come off the bench, and the amount of applause and respect the Liverpool fans had was just amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, it's a phenomenal city. I know, of course, I know you from the absolute legend, but I've got a couple of family members and that. I know a couple of Geordies and that, but it's both clubs have got a good respect, and it's a fantastic city. You've never been down there, phenomenal place, lives and breathes football like Liverpool. We won't mention the other side of Sunderland, but yeah, I think you're enjoying that. Them being down there, are they still in League One?
Yeah, they are. They're still struggling in League One, and I'm over the moon. But it's good to have a rivalry, though. I think our closest one in the Premier League now is Sheffield, I think.
Yeah.
but Sheffield mean nothing to us, so sometimes we do hope that we do have a bit of a derby day, because it is a really good feeling. And
it's a good fixture that to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the hatred as well between Newcastle and Sunderland fans are just it's different than anything else, really.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic fixture to watch as a neutral. Obviously the Merseyside derby. I think it's not compared to Newcastle Sunderland derby anyway. But I'll go straight into Newcastle, mate. What are your thoughts on? I think I've got a stat here. A win would give Newcastle 47 points, the highest Premier League tally they have amassed under 49 under Alan Pardew back in 2013-14. That's if you can manage to get a couple of points against us, mate. So, gone from Rafa Benitez, really, from a world-class manager. You knew what you were going to get, a very pragmatic defensive style coach. But how have you felt as a fan, the Newcastle fans have taken to Brucey?
Well, at the start of the season, basically all the fans were really unhappy and distraught that Rafa left. And I think when Steve Bruce first joined, we thought there was a bit of the atmosphere changed, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But second half of the season, I can't praise him enough, because his football is just, since he's changed to 4 at the back, I feel as though we're more attacking than what we have been, because when we've been defensive, it's just been hard to watch, and just teams like Man City just thrashing them, and Liverpool going 5 at the back against Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, mate, it's phenomenal. St. Maximum, I think everyone in the comments section below we'll talk about that. He's a player I wouldn't mind Liverpool putting a bid in, even though we got Gini Wijnaldum a couple of years ago. Anyway, he's a phenomenal signing from your lot. But Alan Pardew, I think off the back of Alan Pardew anyway, back in 2013-14, you had a couple of managers, but I think you're spot on there, mate. Since you've gone a bit more stable at the back, I think given the players that you have got at the club, I think obviously Miguel Almiron's signed from the MLS. I absolutely love him as a player. He's probably the same height as me. He's a little magician anyway. But who are your key men for Newcastle? Who do you feel who's really stood out this season?
I think the key players this season that has stood out for me is probably Saint Maximum, Miggy Almiron. I think John Joe Shelby's actually had a quite a decent season, like better than most of the seasons. And I'm going to give me my last key player. I'd say Jamal Lascelles.
Lascelles, is that the centre back?
Yeah. He doesn't get enough credit, but I think he's a solid player. And he's out injured at the minute, and we're missing him very much.
I was going to say, you're missing like 4 centre-halves for this game, aren't you?
Yeah, well...
which is a bit frightening for you all. I think it depends. It'd be interesting to see how Jurgen Klopp approaches this game, I think, tomorrow. Will he give the likes of Minamino a run out? Obviously, a couple of Shaqiri as well. We haven't got any more fresh injury updates anyway, but I think it'd be a chance for obviously like Shaqiri, Minamino. Will he play Jones, Curtis? Will he give Harvey Elliott a run out? Everyone, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. How Liverpool and even Newcastle, if your thoughts on the Newcastle team lineup. Anyway, if there's any Geordies out there, get your comments in the comment section below as well. Really, I think Matty Ritchie, I'm just looking at off the side here, mate. I think the game against Brighton, the 0-0. I think I've seen highlights, but that wasn't the best game of footy, was it?
It was really boring. I think it's to do with our defence, like pushing out from the back. Since we've put Emil Kraft in there, it's fell to pieces. Like our structure, and I think St. Maximum's carrying a knock as well. Yeah. So he hasn't been very because he's usually like all over and like taking people on one-on-one, but at the minute he just seems to be carrying something.
Yeah. Do you reckon you'll keep hold of him in the summer, or?
I hope we do keep him, but a club could come in and like Mike Ashley's just going to accept it if it's like 80 million or something like that, or even 50. Mike Ashley's just going to say, right, champion, I'll have that in my back pocket.
We won't mention his shops anyway, but in terms of, I think, I'll have to ask you, mate, obviously the transfer room, well, everyone loves a bit of transfer rumours, but takeover rumours, I think my dad's mate, he's a massive Newcastle fan, since I've been speaking to you since I've known you, it's always Newcastle might get potentially taken over. Obviously, behind closed doors, obviously your owners and all that. But I think do you think you get taken over, or?
From the news at the minute, I don't think we will be, because we've signed another shirt sponsor for Funny 8, and I think that's just put the transfer talk down in the hole, really.
Yeah, I hope you do get taken over, mate, because obviously like Leeds, like Liverpool, United, Newcastle, I really feel he's a sleeping giant. And I think if you get the right manager in, I think Everton have gone down the right route with getting a good manager in. And you never know, Rafa could come back one day. But I think Brucey, from an outsider point of view, I think he's done a decent job. I've been really impressed with what, but you know what you're going to get with Brucey, don't you, in terms of his tactics. But it'd be interesting, mate.
Mid-table manager. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's got all the players there, mate, as you mentioned, alluded to. St. Maxim, Alberon, Dwight Gale. He's all right. I don't mind him. I still have nightmares back to the Palace game.
I can imagine that.
Don't mention that, lad.
When an opportunity arises for Gale, when he's on his day, he can bury. But there's been some chances this season he could have just finished, like really easy chances, and he's just completely missed it.
What's Jolinson? What's the I've wanted him to hit the back of the net every single week. I think I did put him in fantasy football, but I think everyone talking about within the first 2-3 weeks. Anyway, but what's your... Has he failed to really settle into life at Newcastle, or do you think he's gonna be a player that needs at least another 6 months to really settle in?
Looking at him playing, if he just learns off Andy Carroll, you probably will tell him. Like, if he just backs into a player, lays it off, and gets into the box more, like, that's all we're asking. His work rate is really good, but I think I'd give him another 6 months, and after that, if he's still the same and doesn't score any goals, and we're going to have to get rid of him, because the price we paid for him, he should be netting, like, he should be finishing at least 10 or more goals a season.
Yeah, I think his best appearance, and I think his only goal, probably got a couple more goals in the Prem, not too sure. But the game against Newcastle, I remember watching that, and I think Tottenham, was it away against Tottenham, or was it home when you won 1-0?
It was away, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably his finest match, really. It was really impressed with him. Hopefully he can settle in, and I think it comes down to, obviously, the players in and around him. I think if Newcastle, would be interesting to see if they do get taken over, where in terms of the transfers they do go. You've got Bentaleb. I've been very impressed with him in your midfield. I think he was a very good signing. How do you reckon he settled? Do you like him as a player?
There's been some games where I have really enjoyed his style of play, but other games he seemed to be sluggish and losing the ball. But I'd sign him next season and see what he's made of, because he was out of football for around about a year, I think. Who did he play for? Was it Schalke?
Schalke, yeah. I think it was from Germany, yeah. That's what I was going to say. I thought that you got him from Germany anyway, but I've been massively impressed with him, mate. In terms of his expectations, in terms of, obviously, Newcastle going forward, going into next season, where do you want to really see Newcastle progressing? Say, hypothetically, you do get taken over. What is the next stage now as a Newcastle fan and Newcastle Football Club?
The next stage, I would say, is just getting a decent manager. I'd say Pochettino's kept himself quiet at the minute, so I don't know if there's a deal going on there, if there is a takeover. But next season, I'd try and push for Europe, because we can't be sitting in mid-table every season. But it might be a little too much to ask, but I'd say push for Europe next season.
Yeah, definitely, mate. St. James's packs out every single week. Like Wolves. I think it's this is why I love the Premier League, and I think, obviously, teams like Newcastle, Liverpool, huge clubs, and really, you've got the history. So why not? Obviously, Bobby Dobson, legendary manager up there in Newcastle anyway, phenomenal. Absolutely loved him. I was very young when he was a manager at Newcastle, but he was a fantastic manager. And I'm pretty sure he can hit the heights. But nice one, mate. Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem.
Predictions, what are you going for?
Match predictions, I'd say 3-0 to Liverpool.
I thought you were going to say 3-0 to Newcastle.
With our defence at the minute, I'd say it will be at least 3 or 4, but I don't know. I've got to believe as a fan, and I'd say maybe we could get a draw out of it, but I don't see we're winning this.
Oh, it's sound that, because I was going to say, as I mentioned before, like, in terms of the tinkering, I think Jürgen will very much tinker with his squad. You could see a couple of young players. There's a big thank you from, obviously, Adam Lallana. Everyone, let us know your thoughts in Liverpool's team selection. Will Lallana get a run out? Obviously, I think he's agreed to go to Brighton now anyway, so will be interesting in terms of that. But nice one, mate. Thank you very much for coming on.
Before you end the video here, I just want to congratulate everyone at Liverpool, for winning the title. And I'm over the moon for you, because I know it's been a long 30 years. And just well done. I'm pleased for you.
It's like that. I think hopefully in a couple of months' time, or whenever hopefully everything passes and everyone's safe and sound, mate, I think we will come down to your way, mate. And hopefully Newcastle can be pushing for European places next season. Anyway, depending on your takeover and that. But pleasure as always, mate. And I've been meaning to get you on absolutely ages.
Yeah.
You should have been there last year.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, nice one, lad. As always, I'll leave Ryan's links anyway. Dodsy is his nickname anyway. He runs it. Who's Dods? But yeah, I'll leave all of his links. Go over to his fitness channel as well. Would be a big, massive help for him as well. He's just starting it up. If you need any fitness routines, what do you do over there, mate? Just to quickly shout out.
Just promote my clothing and working out, really, and tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks, yeah. Absolute legend, lad. But yeah, head over there, everyone, and welcome if you're a new subscriber as well to the channel. But I cannot wait for tomorrow, mate. Hopefully it's a good game of football for him as well. But as always, lad, I'll see you. I'll try and get you on for the post-match anyway, mate, if you're not too busy.
No problem.
As always, lads, and any Toon fans out there, keep safe and well, every single one of you. Ryan, keep safe and well, and everyone at home, around the Wales. You'll never walk alone.